Experts today.
Fox 29 Live and Fox Weather doing this show together. Guys, the reality is that over the better part of the last week plus, everybody has been following Hurricane Milton, the potential damage, the concerns, the evacuation. And so Scott and I decided to come together, take the Fox Weather Philly show, Fox 29 Live, and just kind of do a live update of all things Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of folks are on edge, obviously, because this is a monster of a storm at its peak. It had winds gusting well over 180 miles per hour. Now, it has weakened a bit. It's a Category 4 storm, and it will continue to weaken a bit, moving toward the western peninsula of Florida late tonight into early Thursday. But we're still talking about catastrophic damage. And, of course, you know, a lot of folks went through Helene. Still picking up the pieces. You've seen the videos. You've seen the images of all of the debris piles still on the side of the roads in and around the Tampa area. So a lot of that wasn't discarded or picked up is going to be just, you know, projectiles as we watch Milton plow through late tonight into early Thursday.
So what we're going to do for the next half an hour, obviously Scott is going to break that down. You see all of this. He will give you all of the details and the specifics, the things that we are expecting, how it's trending as it has moved a little bit. But we're also going to talk to multiple people who are either still there in zone A, B, C, the evacuation zones. So we're going to talk to them about their experiences, what they're doing there, why, you know, the choices that they had to make to stay, or like one lady feels like she didn't have any options. So we're going to talk to her. We also have one of our staff who was involved not too long ago in Florida and had to be rescued from one of the hurricanes. She's going to come in and talk to us just to kind of get a feel, keep people prepared, get an update, something that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go anywhere without folks asking me, you know, about what's the latest with the storm. Is it really going to hit the Tampa area? Is the storm surge really going to be catastrophic? So let's talk a little bit, of course, really about what we're watching. I mean, this storm system, it is expanding as it nears landfall later on this evening. Of course, also, we're talking about the intensity. It's still going to be a major hurricane as it makes landfall. And we talk about the quadrants, Bill. Which quadrant of the hurricane is typically the worst? Do you know the answer to this?
I have no idea, and I don't think most people do.
Well, we always talk about that right front quadrant. So here it is. You can see what we're talking about here as that storm moves toward land. It's typically where we see the maximum impact in that right front quadrant. We're talking about the damaging winds. Also, the storm surge, that is the big thing with this system. Now, take a look at the spaghetti plots. You can see they're tightly packed together. So what that means is that there's a good consensus of where this thing is going. And you can see on the latest runs, look at Tampa. You can see that most of the spaghetti plots have it a little farther to the south. Now, is Tampa out of the woods? No, not at all.
It's just not in the immediate direct hit
It
zone.
looks like things could be a little better for them, but nonetheless, we are still watching a major Category 3 hurricane make landfall late tonight into early Thursday. And because of that angle that is going to be coming in, we really haven't seen this in the Sunshine State, not at this angle with the population really that it is right now. So you can see they've been getting rain all day. The feeder bands are working their way in. There's a tornado threat across parts of the area as well as that center of circulation moves through. But hurricane force winds extend outwards about 30-40 miles from that center. Tropical storm force winds are going to be extending outwards over 200 miles as this approaches. So there will be a point in time, Bill, where almost 90% of the Sunshine State will be looking at tropical storm force winds. So you really can't focus on where that center of circulation makes landfall. It really is going to just be, you know, all of the impacts combined with this system. So even if it doesn't make landfall in Tampa, Tampa's still going to get storm surge, still going to get high winds, damage. There's a tornado threat. And I mean, you're talking about the higher impacts really in that right front quadrant. to the, to the right front quadrant of where it makes landfall, and that could be Sarasota or the Port Charlotte area, actually.
Can we, and let's pull us back up for just a second. Can we look at, from a layperson's perspective, so one of the things that this is so unique, and in the map that you were showing, it's unusual that it hits land and will go across with that level of strength. That's one of the things that makes this so unique.
Yeah, and it's going to be a hurricane all the way across. I mean, we're talking from the west coast of Florida all the way to the Space Coast. So, I mean, Cape Canaveral, Bill, is going to have hurricane force winds during the day on Thursday. So, once again, you can see this is the track, and you can see that cone, but you really can't focus on that cone. It's really just that entire area of Central Florida that's going to be inundated with the impacts from the system.
Okay. So we wanted to get it all set up, show you everything that is going on, and get the kind of breakdown from a weather standpoint. From a human standpoint and the impact that this might have on people, we're going to take our first break, and then we're going to talk to some of the people that we have here. We've got multiple people who are there, who know all of this information and either couldn't leave or chose not to leave. Going to take our first break, and then we will spend some time talking to them as we kind of explore this. Okay. So stay with us. It's Fox 29 Live, Fox Weather Philly, as we discuss all things Hurricane Milton, and we'll be right back. Fox 29 Live, Fox Weather Philly, Bill Anderson, Scott Williams, as we kind of break down everything that's going on with Hurricane Milton. Scott was giving you all of the details, the specifics. You can see the maps, but we also wanted to talk to some of the people who are there. Got a couple of folks who are in that Tampa area. We appreciate you guys spending some time with us. Introduce yourself for everybody watching.
Hey, my name is Kayetan. My brother Ed is a producer over with you guys, and he asked me to be on today, and with pleasure, I came on to talk to you guys.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm Kayetan's girlfriend.
We appreciate you guys doing it. So Scott was talking about all of the specifics about what's going on in that area. Tell us what you are experiencing there now, and also you made a decision to stay. Why?
That's right. What we're experiencing now is just light rains. The hurricane really hasn't started. It's going to hit like about midnight, 2 a.m. tonight, and then we're expecting it. Why we stayed? We kind of didn't have a lot of good options. In fact, a couple nights ago when we looked on our Hotel Tonight app to see what hotels were available, we couldn't find any in We found some in Jacksonville, but Jacksonville isn't much safer than Tampa, I'd say. So we kind of didn't have many options. So we figured, we're in a concrete building and we're staying.
Yeah, I'm a fifth generation Floridian, so I mean, we take these storms seriously, but yeah, I mean, we're prepared. We're in a concrete rebar building. We're high up. We're not in an area where we're going to be flooded. So water is very dangerous. But we're high up. That's not going to happen for us. But yeah, and I mean, the other options were like staying with families and manufactured homes, a little further inland. So we just decided to stay here and not inconvenience our family and be comfortable here at home with our supplies and our candles and our water and yeah, and we're just gonna be a part of a community of people when the storm passes if anybody needs anything.
And you guys just went through Helene. Talk about that experience and why would you want to go through another hurricane?
I think Helene passed like maybe 150 or 200 miles west of us. So it didn't really hit us at all. I mean, we were here and it wasn't scary at all. I think this hurricane will be a lot scarier since it's a pretty much a direct hit of the Tampa Bay area. If not, then, Sarasota, Siesta Key area. So yeah, we're prepared to be a little bit scared. Yeah, hopefully, tough it out.
So you're not.
Helene was, we were fine here in the apartment. Again, like you said, we didn't take any sort of direct hit. It was 200 miles off the coast heading towards the Panhandle. But yeah, after the storm passed, we went out since we are close to the water. A lot of jet skis and boats were washed ashore and damaged, and there was a lot of debris, around. And I have friends who have family out closer to the beaches, which have more damage. So Helene was a big deal even in this area 2 weeks ago.
And a lot of folks.
What do you say to the folks? There is some concern with some really strong words from elected officials, from people who are trying to get folks to evacuate. People are making choices. They're making decisions. But what do you say to the people who are saying, I mean, they're telling you to get out, and you're deciding to tough it out?
Yeah, the mayor of Tampa told us that we're going to die. So, Ed, if you could hear this, I wanted to give you, my final last words. I love you, brother.
I love you
and,
too.
I'm in a 20-story building here. I think I'm going to be safe, but the mayor did say I'm going to die because I'm in Zone A, mandatory evacuation. Worst case scenario, the regional hospital is right behind us. That's the TGH right there across that channel. Both Ashley and I know how to swim.
We have your brother here. We actually have your brother here.
Yeah, I'm here right now.
Hey, what's up, man?
Can you see him? Can you hear him?
Let's see.
Yeah, he's here.
There you go. Okay,
We'll
yeah.
see. Guys, we want you to be safe. We appreciate you taking the time out with us. And thank you so much. You be safe, and we'll check back in with you shortly.
Thank you.
All right, you guys be good. We're going to continue to kind of move around and talk to various folks throughout the area. Going to get the next person up to talk to us. We need to take a break, and we appreciate them spending some time with us. They say that they're on a high floor.
They feel secure. They feel safe. They're adults, and they made the decision they made.
Yeah. Now, there are others, and we're going to talk to a woman next who is there in that area as well. Doesn't feel like she had as many options, is on a lower floor, and has some level of concern. So we're going to speak to her next as we kind of explore and walk you through everything going on with Hurricane Milton. We'll be right back.
I don't know where that podcast equipment came from.
Thank you. Okay, we'll come back to you.
It's Fox 29 Live and Fox Weather Philly. We are trying to work some things out as we've got some folks that we want to talk to. I'm trying to figure out how, if we can. We're having a little bit of a mic issue with one of the folks that we wanted to speak to. Microphone will not unmute in this moment. So
yeah. Obviously, we've got weather moving in, so weather could be a factor as well. But while we work on that, let's talk a little bit about some of the impacts, Bill, that the Sunshine State is going to see out of this storm system. So, of course, we're keeping tabs on that storm surge. And where it makes landfall, that is going to be the big question of who sees that 10 to 15-foot storm surge. Now, take a look at this graphic. Earlier, Tampa Bay was expecting 10 to 15-foot storm surge. They are now in the 8 to 12. That's still catastrophic. And, of course, Helene brought them about 7-foot storm surge. So that would still be over what Helene brought them. But you can see the 10 to 15-foot has been pushed a little farther south, moving towards Sarasota. So that will be the concern where that storm system makes landfall late tonight into early on Thursday. Flood concerns, I think double-digit totals from Tampa even to Orlando and Daytona Beach with this system. Tornadoes, a probability. We've already seen tornadoes today, so keeping tabs on this. But look at the map of Florida. That's about 90% of the state looking at some type of hurricane warning or tropical storm warning with this system. And you can see a good chunk of Central Florida. We're talking Orlando, Daytona Beach, Sebrings under that hurricane warning. So hurricane force winds are expected across Central Florida. So that will cause catastrophic damage. Now look at this graphic here showing the storm surge. The onshore push of winds kind of piling that water up. Now, some of the wording from the National Hurricane Center, some of those zones that we'll see potentially 10 to 15-foot storm surge. I mean, look at this, Bill. I mean, this is over a 2-story house. So that is why they're using that wording, unsurvivable, with this.
So if we look at this one, and I wanted to acknowledge, because we're going to talk to Maria in just a second. We got her unmuted. I look like that will be good. Yeah. But I wanted to acknowledge, in talking to our last guest, and you're talking about the graphic and you're looking at that surge, the higher up people are, the more safe that they feel. And I think that sometimes there may be kind of uncomfortable joking about things.
Yeah.
But it's very serious, and we want to make sure people understand that we're taking it seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
They may have concerns even on the 20th floor, but when you look at this kind of gives you a level of people feeling a level of comfort if they are above that. Is that kind of where that comfort level comes from?
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, the structure of the building as well. But I mean, you know, even if you see a storm surge like this and you're in a higher floor, you're going to be stranded. I mean, everything's going to be out as far as the power. So, I mean, we're talking about, you know, just being cut off from supplies, power, electricity, and then you put, you know, yourself in danger and other people in danger that may have to rescue you.
Let's try to talk to Maria. I think that we've got her up. You can flip your phone so that you are horizontal. We're messing with Maria. She's like, listen, I finally got unmuted. I'm trying to figure this all out. Now we're telling you to change the phone side to side. If we can't get that situated, it's fine. Turn it back the other way because it's not populated. Let's just talk to you.
Yep, that's
we'll
fine.
We'll worry about it.
I can see myself back there, but
yeah, that's fine. So tell us, Maria worked with us, so you're part of our Fox 29 family. But tell us a little bit about, one, where you are and what you're currently experiencing.
I am in Winter Garden, Florida, so I am in Horizon West. So I am west of Orlando, and I am in a newer subdivision. Our homes are about 7-8 years old. They've been through Irma. That was our first hurricane, Irma, in 2017. We had a little bit of damage, but not bad. And they've been through the next, like Ian 2 years ago. And so we kind of know what to expect, although I think this one's going to be a little bit worse. I nowhere like to, put rags, and we're prepared. We have all the flashlights, all the everything that we need to get candles. People that lived here for years tell you fill up your tubs with water so you can flush the toilets, and to fill the freezer with ice, as much ice as you can. And if you don't have ice, you can fill Ziploc bags, so that when we lose power, because we probably are going to lose power, that's the most that we're worried about. The refrigerator and the freezer should last a couple days, and we're on the grid we have a brand new hospital like a few blocks away, and so we feel comfortable with that. And I am on a higher elevation.
Okay.
So worried about wind and the rain whipping. The whipping rain with the wind will find, little holes and little breaches in the house where the water can come in.
So are you worried about trees, Maria? Are you worried about any trees around your home, or are you pretty...
Yeah. So the development is not that old, but the live oak getting large. We, as a community, we all began in the fall, we began cutting the live oaks, not down, but you need to open them up and trim them. So when I'm looking around, nothing is close to the house. I have these 3 palms close to the house, and they were just trimmed. They were just trimmed, so the air should go through them and not topple them down. But although it will be my garage, and I do have 2 cars in there, but I'm not worried. And in the back,
so even that far, Maria, inland, people in the neighborhood and all are still going through the process of preparation, still taking things very seriously.
Yes, very serious. Although, we don't want to evacuate. Some people evacuated due to certain circumstances, but we don't want to evacuate. I don't want to get in a car, that's for sure. And the gas is ridiculous. The lines for gas. So that's a little scary. And I feel like we are in a place where people are evacuating to, not away from.
Right. Maria, thank you. You be safe. We appreciate you taking some time
You're
with
welcome.
us.
And we offered our house to all our friends on the East Coast and the West Coast. So, and the offer is still there because we have room.
We'll be following up with you. Be safe.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, we need to take another break as we continue on kind of moving around throughout the area, checking in with people who are out and about in Florida. It's interesting seeing that far inland.
Absolutely.
And she's taking it seriously and preparing, but also kind of offering a place for people who need to get somewhere to come to. It's
everyone, being a helpful neighbor, and in situations like this hurricane, that's when you have to come together and just really help anyone in need, because it can be catastrophic, and people are going to be without power for weeks, maybe months, depending on where it hits ground zero.
Need to take a break. We'll be right back. It's Fox 29 Live, Fox Weather Philly, talking about Hurricane Milton, keeping you informed. We'll be back. Fox 29 Live, and Fox Weather. I'm Bill Anderson. Scott Williams, who's been with us throughout, getting ready to check out as Scott has had a bit of a long day. But you'll be back going ahead tracking all that. We were fixing microphones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be making landfall. It's imminent now, so conditions continue to go downhill. It's just a matter of where it actually makes landfall and who's going to see the most significant impacts. But, I mean, it's going to change the landscape of Florida for years.
So we just wanted to continue to kind of get you caught up on everything that's taken place. But you can stay with us all throughout the day. Fox Local, fox29.com, of course, Fox 29, the news at 5, 6, 10, and 11. And I also wanted to update you. So there was a woman who actually is from our area. She's from Mount Airy, lives in the Florida area in Zone A, 87 years old. And we have been going back and forth with her on Zoom. She was staying, and she was staying because she didn't have any options. She said that she couldn't get out. Thankfully, the reason that we were unable to Zoom with her is because we just got notice that somebody decided they wanted to get her out. And so they came, they picked her up, they are getting her out of there. So we were happy to hear that. So if there was ever a time where we were happy that we didn't get a chance to Zoom with somebody, that's it.
That's great.
We've got, this is just about it. So we've got just about a minute left before we wrap up, giving you one last look at what Scott was describing. That's kind of what we're expecting. It will continue to update. We will continue to update it throughout the day. Just a reminder, stay on fox29.com, Fox Local, of course, the news at 5, 6, 10, and 11. And then tomorrow, you're back in the morning.
Yes.
So Scott will be back in the morning.
4 a.m. with the latest. And, you know, tomorrow morning, that first light will really reveal the extent of the damage. So, I mean, we're going to be seeing scenes coming in, just kind of assessing the damage from Hurricane Milton. Areas just went through Hurricane Helene. So, you know, it's just kind of no rest for the weary.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everybody who spent some time with us. We appreciate you. We will see you again to do it tomorrow morning and throughout the day. Anybody who's watching, has friends there, family there, please stay safe. And we will talk to you again soon. Thank you, Scott. See you.